In the vast world of nutrition, few approaches seem as diametrically opposed as the carnivore diet, the plant-based diet. They represent two very different philosophies about what fuels the human body best. One looks to the animal kingdom for sustenance, while the other turns to the soil, the trees, the vines. Understanding these diets isn't just about listing foods, it's about exploring two distinct paths, each with its own set of rules, proponents, and promised outcomes. The choices we make at every meal have a profound impact on our health, and these two diets sit at the extreme ends of that spectrum of choice. Imagine a dinner plate. On one hand, it could be filled entirely with steak, eggs, and perhaps a piece of fish. This is the carnivore plate. It contains no vegetables, no fruits, no grains, and no legumes. Now imagine another plate. This one is a vibrant mosaic of colors. Deep green spinach, bright red peppers, wholesome brown rice, and earthy lentils. This is the plant-based plate. It's a fundamental difference in how we see food. Is it purely a source of protein and fat from animals? Or is it a rich tapestry of vitamins, minerals, fiber, and phytonutrients from the plant world? This question is at the very heart of one of today's most significant health debates. The carnivore diet is often presented as a return to an ancestral way of eating, suggesting our early predecessors thrived primarily on meat. Its followers believe that by eliminating plants, they can reduce inflammation and resolve various health issues. The plant-based diet, conversely, draws on a different kind of history. It aligns with the eating patterns of some of the world's longest-lived populations and is supported by a growing body of modern scientific research. It champions the idea that a diet rich in plant foods is the key to preventing chronic disease and promoting a long, vibrant life. As we delve into these two dietary worlds, we will examine the evidence behind their claims. We will look at what people eat, how it affects their bodies, and what science has to say about the long-term consequences. This isn't just an academic exercise. For many, the choice between these two plates is one of the most important health decisions they will ever make. It's a decision that could influence not just how they feel today, but how many healthy tomorrows they will get to enjoy. Our journey will take us from the simple definitions of these diets to the complex science of human longevity. For decades, scientists and demographers have been fascinated by certain pockets of the world where people seem to defy the odds of aging. These are places where reaching the age of 100 is not a remarkable anomaly, but a common occurrence. These regions, dubbed blue zones, are home to the world's longest-lived and healthiest populations. Okinawa, Japan, Sardinia, Italy, Nicoya, Costa Rica, Icaria, Greece, Loma Linda, California. In these places, people not only live longer, but they also enjoy more years of vibrant, active life, with significantly lower rates of chronic diseases like heart disease, cancer, and dementia. When researchers began to study the people of the blue zones, they looked for common denominators. They examined their social structures, their levels of physical activity, their sense of purpose, and of course what they ate. While the carnivore diet places red meat at the very center of the plate, a large and growing body of scientific evidence raises a significant red flag about this practice. Numerous large-scale epidemiological studies have linked high consumption of red meat, particularly processed meat like bacon, sausages, deli meats, to an increased risk of serious health problems. One of the most well-established links is to heart disease. Red meat is typically high in saturated fat, which has long been known to raise levels of LDL cholesterol, often referred to as bad cholesterol. High LDL cholesterol is a major risk factor for atherosclerosis, leading to heart attacks, strokes. Beyond the saturated fat content, other components in red meat are also cause for concern. For instance, red meat contains a compound called carnitine. Certain bacteria in our gut can convert carnitine into a substance known as trimethylamine N-oxide, TMAO. High levels of TMAO in the blood have been strongly linked to an increased risk of heart disease, as it appears to accelerate the process of artery clogging. Another factor is hemi-iron, the type of iron found in animal products. While iron is an essential mineral, the high concentration of hemi-iron in red meat can act as a pro-oxidant, promoting cellular damage and inflammation, underlying factors in many chronic diseases. the World Health Organization's IARC has also weighed in on this issue. After a thorough review, processed meat is Group 1 carcinogen. Red meat is probably carcinogenic, with strong links to colorectal cancer and associations with pancreatic and prostate cancer. For generations, we have been told that milk does a body good, primarily for building strong bones. Dairy products like milk, cheese, and yogurt are staples in many Western diets and are permitted in some versions of the carnivore diet. They are a rich source of calcium and protein. However, a closer look at the scientific evidence and the dietary patterns of the world's healthiest populations presents a more complicated picture. While dairy can be a source of important nutrients, high consumption, particularly of high-fat dairy, has been linked to certain health risks. One of the primary concerns revolves around saturated fat in full-fat cheese, butter, and whole milk. Similar to saturated fat in red meat, this can contribute to elevated LDL cholesterol, a key risk factor for cardiovascular disease. Some fermented dairy like yogurt may be neutral or slightly beneficial, but overall, high-fat dairy is less positive for heart health. Limiting intake is often recommended by cardiologists and health organizations. High dairy consumption has also been associated in some studies with increased risk of certain cancers, including prostate cancer. A possible mechanism involves insulin-like growth factor 1, IGF-1. In blue zones, aside from some goats' and sheep's milk in Icaria and Sardinia, dairy is not a significant staple. Many populations are lactose intolerant, suggesting high dairy intake is a relatively recent adaptation for only some. Excellent plant sources of calcium include fortified plant milks, tofu, kale, and broccoli, without the saturated fat and hormonal downsides. Excess consumption of red meat and dairy products is related to heart disease and some cancers. In the blue zones, people eat mostly plants, and their longevity is a living, real-world outcome of that choice. The answer lies in the incredible cocktail of nutrients that plants provide. Fiber, only in plants, helps lower cholesterol, stabilize blood sugar, adds bulk, and supports regularity. Plants deliver vitamins and minerals in abundance, from vitamin A and K to folate and vitamin C. Phytonutrients act as antioxidants and anti-inflammatory agents, protecting our cells. Lycopene and anthocyanins are linked to protective effects for prostate and brain health. Whole plant diets are nutrient-dense, not calorie-dense, supporting healthy weight. They lower LDL, improve endothelial function, reduce blood pressure, and cut risk of heart attacks and strokes. Fiber speeds transit, compounds like sulforaphane aid detox and may induce cancer cell death. Slow-release carbs from whole grains and legumes help prevent spikes, supporting diabetes prevention. We stand at a fork in the road of our dietary choices. One path offers simplicity, but carries well-documented long-term risks. The other celebrates abundance, backed by decades of research and the blue zones. The verdict for vitality is in. Only a plant-based diet is the right way of eating if we want to live a long and healthy life. Make plants the foundation of your plate and your future.